Hey there, Erica Kelly here with Flatbridge Home Loans. I wanted to take a moment to talk about and give you an example of how a cash out refinance could benefit you and free up some cash flow in your budget today in 2024. It sounds like it's crazy for those that may have captured one of the 2 or 3% interest rates for your current mortgage, that you would give that up to be able to consolidate your debt. However, I think after you see some real life data, and this is from a loan that I did a couple years ago, but it's the same example. But essentially, you can utilize your largest asset to be able to pay off high interest debt, free up that cash flow, and then you're able to either use it and leverage it for things that you need today that are important to you, or you can circle back and take and apply those extra funds or what you have freed up back into the principal of your mortgage and be able to reduce your interest over the life of the loan and be able to reduce your term or the time it takes you to actually pay off the debt simply by using a tool called Cash Out Refinance. So let's take a look at this real quick. I made this report up. This is actually a real life scenario. It's a couple years old, but it is the same essentially as it is today. Even the interest rates, are a little bit different, but it will be the same. So I want to start by showing you what it would look like if you took some of your revolving debt, car loans, student loans, credit cards. A lot of us right now, over the last several years, have been living off of our credit cards. Savings accounts are down significantly. And if you're one of those people, then you might be able to free up some space in your budget by utilizing this tool. So let's take a look. This particular client, who I loved and adored, actually, they had a significant amount of revolving debt and a significant amount of needs for cash in hand to be able to do some projects on their home. So they had a car loan, they had several bank credit cards, they had a home equity line of credit they had already leveraged on the equity on their home, and they needed to pay somebody back cash in hand at the end of this to be able to get out of underneath all of the debt that they already had. So you can see their balances here totaled about $85,000 in revolving debt. That might sound a lot to you right now, excuse me, but I'm sure I'm going to redo this because I'm putting it on my ear. Anyway, it might sound a lot to you, but right now the average household debt in America is $65,000. We have about $75 trillion worth of revolving debt in the United States together. Not something we really want to be together on, but that's the case. So this isn't too far off. $85,000 in revolving debt. That equaled about $1,300, actually a little closer to $1,400 in monthly payment that they had going out of their checking account every single month. In addition, they wanted to be able to have about $40,000 in hand to be able to pay off a family member that had allowed them to borrow some funds. So total, they needed $126,000 in cash to be able to pay off the debts and to be able to pay back their family member. What that ended up equaling is about $760 in savings every month. That included, or that did not include actually giving that $40,000 to the family member. That would have cost even more if they had had that on a loan. So what we ended up doing was being able to get a loan amount of around $290. Their principal and interest actually went from $1,065. So they originally had a 4.99 interest rate. They were paying $1,065 a month in their monthly payment, but they also were paying another $1,400 in revolving payments. So you have to look at it holistically, what they had coming out of pocket every single month. So when we reduced that to $1,848, but also took away all of those payments that they had going out. So you can see $760 could be applied towards their principal here. And if they did that religiously, it would actually take their existing term from 25 years to 14 years. And it would also take their payments that they owed from 100 or from 311 that they still had to 176. So this is even taken into consideration the shorter term that they had previously. If you look at the current balance versus the proposed, you can go down here and you can see what their remaining balance was. Obviously, their mortgage balance was going to be higher for the first 5 years. What their remaining mortgage balance after the next, I think we have it at 10 years. So at 10 years, they're $40,000 in the positive. And then after 14 years, they would actually be at a zero balance in this scenario. So there's several different things that you can look at here, what their revolving is, what their principal and interest is, what they've actually gained over those 25 years by consolidating this debt versus just paying it like they're paying it right now. And you can see their existing was 2608 and then their proposed 1848. And then you can see what their individual payments are. Also, if you scroll down and look at these loan details, you can see property value, what their original loan balance was 150, then it was 290. The equity that they had in the home versus what they had left over once they refinanced. Their cash out in hand, 41,000. Closing costs we put in there. And then what the new details were, which this one again was from 2 years ago, but it was a fixed 5.625 with 2 points. So they still went up about a point, and then they still had to pay some points on that. And you can see down here, we included $85,000 worth of debt and paid it off. So if you happen to be in one of these scenarios, I'm going to do another one at a higher interest rate because I know everyone's going to come at me and, well, take me from a 3.75 to a, 6.5%. Cash out refinance, which I'm happy to do. But what I want you to really think about is if you have high revolving debt right now, it's stressing you out. The majority of people have a significant amount of equity in your home right now. So take advantage of using that equity and being able to pay off this debt. Don't forget, interest rates will come down. We don't know when yet, but the Fed has stopped increasing interest rates and they will start decreasing interest rates in a few months. And so at that point, a year from now, you can come back and get another refinance and be able to reduce that payment even lower. Hope you found this helpful. Please reach out 615-423-3095 or shoot me an email at ekelly@fbhl.com if you have any questions.